Hi and hello everybody, it's Fern. Welcome to my official nail video. I'm so excited to be sitting down today and starting to film my nail routine for you. If you watch my vlog channel, then you know I'm very into nails, nail polish, nail care. I'm into it right now. So it's gonna be a lot of fun to put together a whole video talking about just that. I include snippets of me, doing my nails and updating with my weekly nail colors and stuff in the vlogs, but this is gonna be a video solely dedicated to the products that I use, the things that I do on a daily and weekly basis to maintain my nails, and I'm also going to be changing my nail color. So we're gonna be doing a new magnetic polish today because I've had several comments from y'all asking me to show how I do magnetics. So we're going to be doing that. I have, I would say, medium length natural nails that I typically keep polished at all times. I found the brand Mooncat a couple of years ago, and ever since I tried their nail polish, I just deeply fell down a hole of nail obsession. But only recently have I been more into really wanting to take care of my nails, learn more about that, try different products, and grow my nails out a little bit more. That's kind of a more recent thing. So yeah, I have been putting more energy lately into taking care of my nails, and I guess I'll start with talking about that. So the thing that I do on a daily basis, pretty religiously now, is apply cuticle oil. This one is Mooncat's Nail Elixir. I have several of these scattered throughout my home. I have one on my nightstand, one at my desk, and then one also in the living room because whenever I'm just kind of hanging out, I like to apply it, and I always apply it before I go to bed. So I will apply this anywhere from, I would say, like 1 to 4 times a day typically, but at least every night. I didn't think that cuticle oil actually made that big of a difference until I started using it, but it really does. I have not had any nail breakage since I've been using this like super consistently. It makes your nails more flexible so they're less likely to just snap off, and it just keeps my cuticles so much nicer. I feel like everything just looks like cleaner, nice and moisturized. People swear by cuticle oil, and now I get the hype. So yeah, I am applying this stuff all the time. Along with that, I like to moisturize my hands at least every evening. Sometimes I will do this after I get out of the shower. Oh yeah, that's another important point with the cuticle oil. You want to rehydrate after your hands have been wet. So when I come out of the shower, I try to remember to put my cuticle oil on as well because you really want to put that moisture back in. But oh my gosh, there's dog hair on here. But yeah, I also just try to keep my hands fairly moisturized as well, but I will admit I typically only put this on at bedtime. This is just an old Lush lotion that I have. Another daily kind of nail care thing that I do is try to protect my hands from moisture. So obviously this can't be avoided in a lot of situations, like in the shower, and obviously I'm washing my hands all the time and stuff, but things like doing dishes, I now wear dish gloves so that my nails aren't just soaking in water. And this is another thing that I feel has made such a big difference. I hardly ever get chipping or peeling of my nail polish anymore. I didn't have a huge issue with it in the past, but when my nail polish would be coming up to around that 1 week mark of wear, if I was in the shower and like washing my hair, that's when it would start peeling. Like it was always triggered by prolonged exposure to water. So yeah, protecting them from water as much as possible is going to go a really long way. Something else that I feel makes a really big difference and helps keep my nails maintain their length without breaking super easily is a nail strengthener. I put this on every single time I paint my nails. I always redo it, and I put it on the top, and I also now put it underneath my nail, underneath the like overhang part, since my nails are getting longer, and I really do feel like it helps. Like my nails just feel harder, like they feel more protected when I put this on. This is just one that I ordered on Amazon. I'll link everything that I can in the description, but yeah, I love this stuff. I have heard people say to even put 2 coats of nail strengthener. I've tried that once, I think, and I did really like it, but I just don't have the patience to be doing that because I'm already putting so many coats on my nails every time I do them that would just, add more time onto the whole process. So I typically just stick with 1 coat, but 1 to 2. Okay, so we're gonna start my switching nail color routine. I typically change my nail color once a week. However, I have been doing it a little bit more frequently lately just because, I don't know, I've just been enjoying trying out different nail polishes. So I've only had this one on for not that long, like 3 days maybe, and it is a bit of a shame to be switching it so soon because it's a magnetic and they take more time to do than a lot of other polishes, but that's okay. I'm excited to try out a new color today. So I like to use 100% acetone, but they didn't have it the last time I went to pick it up, so I just have regular nail polish remover that we're working with, but it's fine, it does the job. I just have regular, what are these called? Cotton balls, cotton puffs, if you will. And recently I have been using these nail clips so that I can just soak off my polish. It makes it so much easier than having to sit and hold the cotton ball on my finger forever because, like I said earlier, I have a lot of layers on here. I have nail strengthener, I guess I only have two, okay wait, nail strengthener, base coats, polish, and then top coat. So that's five layers already. So it's a lot to remove, which is why I like to soak off. And another reason that I like to do it this way is so that I'm not scrubbing at my nail, because a lot of the polishes that I use have glitter and can be gritty, and that's going to damage your nail if you are like rubbing that glitter in. It's going to be abrasive. So yeah, I just like to soak the cotton ball and then use my little nail clip to hold it on there for a few minutes. There we go. I'm just gonna leave these on for a few minutes and I'll be right back. Okay, so it's been a few minutes. We're gonna check how these are doing. Oh, see? Oh my gosh, it like all came off. That is, it's just so much better than having to scrub at these. So much better. I'm just gonna get all of the excess off. And that's it, nice and clean. So I'm just gonna remove the rest. Yep. Okay, so now I'm just gonna go ahead and do the same to the other hand. I just find it easier to do one hand at a time. But I'm gonna do that and then we'll move on to the next step. Okay, so all of my little clippies are now off and my nails are completely naked, which means that they are very vulnerable. I never leave them naked like this. I want to get strengthener and a base coat on as soon as possible, and then they're protected enough that I can, you know, if I wanted to put that on, sometimes I'll put that on the day before and then I'll wait till the next day to put the actual like polished color on. But they need something. They cannot just be left like this. They will be very prone to breaking if I, you know, grab something the wrong way or whatever. So I am now going to file them. Just a second, let me grab my file. This isn't something that I do every single time I change my nail color. I will do this maybe every second or third time, or honestly just as needed. Even right now, like they don't even really need to be touched up on the shape. Like they're pretty good, but I might as well just do it anyways. Just kind of like take the edges in a little bit. All I really do is shave the sides down and kind of round the top. I prefer this kind of oval shape. I've heard that rectangle shape is really prone to breaking, so I just keep mine like this. I like it anyways. Sometimes I do them a little bit pointier because I like that look, but for the most part they're usually just this kind of oval shape. And recently to file, I've been using this glass file that I just got off of Amazon. I was using just regular emery board for like, you know, the past couple of years, and then I switched to this one and it's so much better. It's so much smoother. The feeling of like the emery board filing really creeps me out. Like I hated the feeling of it, but I just dealt with it. This, it files them down so much faster and it's so much smoother, and it's actually better for your nails because it doesn't make them as like jagged and cause these little micro tears in the edge. So yeah, I've been loving the glass file so far. So head over to the desk and I'll get started with this. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and tidy up the shape a little bit. It's honestly not going to make that much of a difference. Maybe make them a little bit more narrow because I just go in and file down each of the sides and then I kind of round it out on the top. And I like to make sure that there's no snags or tears or anything. If I do get a tear or a snag throughout the day that I notice, I want to file it immediately down because that is definitely just a lot more vulnerable to becoming a larger break. So yeah, I always want the edges to be very smooth, and I know some people say not to go back and forth with the file, just to file in one direction, but honestly I go back and forth and it's fine. I definitely don't have a perfect nail routine and I don't follow all of the advice out there to a T, but this is what's been working for me really well over the last several months. And this year I'm going to continue to experiment with different techniques and different products, and I'm sure that I will report back to you with my findings in the future. Okay, so this is where things get a little spicy. I'm gonna mess around with my cuticles. Now, to be perfectly honest, most times I don't do anything to my cuticles, but when I want to clean them up, this is what I do. So I have this cuticle pusher and these little nippers that I got in a set a few years ago, and I just gently try to push the skin back around my cuticle. Now, you don't want to damage the live skin. You don't want to mess with the live skin. The cuticle is just like the white, like dead skin part that you can see on the nail, and that's what you want to get rid of. So that's what I try to kind of like scrape away or go in with my little nippers. And I know a lot of people say not to use these, but I'm just very careful not to cut into or pinch the live skin because that part actually isn't cuticle. It's called the proximal nail fold, and if you damage that, then it can show up as damage on your nail as it grows out. So yeah, you just want to be really gentle. There's several different products that are out there for cuticle removal, and I'll probably be trying out some more of them this year. But yeah, this is just a very kind of bare bones routine that I've got going on here. And then after I'm done with my filing and my whatever I choose to do to my cuticles, I usually just go in with an alcohol swab and clean off my nail to get rid of any debris, any little bits, and also to get it nice and dry so that my base, all the products that I'm going to put on my nail, are actually going to adhere well. And I feel like this really helps a lot. People say not to get your nails wet before you paint them because nails actually absorb a ton of water when you get them wet. So you don't want to lock that in because it can be very damaging and also just make your nail products not last as long. So the first product that I'm applying is the nail thinner, not the nail thinner, the nail strengthener that I showed you at the beginning of the video. I just put a thin coat of this, and I've also been kind of experimenting with doing it on the bottom of my nail, like the underside as well. So yeah, don't really know if that is helpful or not. I haven't been doing it for very long, but I just thought, hey, doesn't hurt. And I'm always getting these stupid annoying little fuzzies and dog hairs and all kinds of things on my nails when I'm trying to do this. But yeah, I go ahead and apply the nail strengthener and then I let it dry. It dries very quickly, honestly, like it only takes a few minutes. And then we are going to go in with my base coat. So what I have been using as a base coat for years now, my favorite, I haven't really tried many other things to be perfectly honest, but this product just works so well for me. I don't really see myself not using this. Even if I switch to a different base coat, I'll probably still layer this on top because it just gives such a glassy, smooth effect to my nails. I have a lot of ridges and just very imperfect nails, so I love using I didn't even say what it's called. It's the Mooncat, what is it called? Getting Even Nail Primer. So it's a ridge filling base that really just or I guess a smoothing base. Is that what it's called? I don't even freaking know. It completely smooths out my nails. It's so nice. I love this stuff so much. And it also, as you can see, has a bit of a pink tint to it. So I feel like it just blurs everything a little bit and smooths everything. And it's just honestly the perfect base. And I really do feel like this contributes a lot to the kind of glassy, just really smooth look that I'm able to achieve when I do my nails. Okay, so we have done shaping / filing, cuticles, nail strengthener, and base coat. That is where we're at. So I usually like to let the base coat dry for a good couple of hours, honestly. Like, I do not want this to be any type of tacky or anything. I want it to be like dry. So I like to give it some time, just because I am going to be putting probably 3 more layers of nail polish on top of this. I think I am going to go ahead and do the color tonight. I was thinking about waiting until tomorrow, but I am going to try to do it tonight. It'd be nice to get it done. And I'm also thinking about playing with 2 different polishes, 1 on each hand, just for funsies. So we'll see. I still have to finalize the shades that I'm going to be using, but yeah, I'm just gonna let this dry. I'm gonna do some work in the meantime, and I will hop back on here when I'm gonna go in with the color, which is the funnest part of this whole process. Okay, so I'm going in with 2 different magnetic polishes today. I'm gonna do 1 on each hand. They're both from the Star Wars Mooncat collection that they launched in December. So the silver one is Death Star, and I'm also going in with a red called Lord Vader. And magnetics are a doozy. They are a doozy, I'm not gonna lie. It's a time investment. I know that I'm in for the long haul if I choose to do a magnetic polish. So when I'm doing magnetics, I will either watch something on YouTube, watch a show, listen to an audiobook, something like that, because it is a bit of a laborious process. So the reason that it's so laborious is because you have to magnetize literally every layer. So as you can see, when I apply the polish, it is a muddy kind of champagne color. That's because the magnetic pigments are all mixed into the base of the polish, and when you put the magnet near your nail, it's going to pull all of those magnetic particles towards it into that nice crisp line. I'm doing this cat eye style. Obviously there's different styles that you can do, but this is the most common one, so this is the one that I thought I would do, and it's probably like well, I don't know. I've just started getting into the velvet style, but anyways, that's a whole other thing. I love cat eye. I love magnetic polishes in general. So the 2 different ways that I do it are by holding the magnetic wand above the nail, or you can put the magnet under the nail and kind of rest your nail on top and apply it that way, which is kind of like, I call it the lazier way. It's kind of less work than holding, like hovering the magnet above, but I decided to show you both ways. But I feel like I do get a crisper line when I hold the magnet above the nail. So for my first coat, I'm usually not that fussy because I always do 2 coats. And for the first one, it's obviously the bottom layer, so I don't think it's as important. So I can kind of get away with just doing it with the magnet underneath my nail, because I don't really care if it's not a super sharp line, you know? Some people even don't magnetize the bottom layer. I don't do that. I'm serious about magnetic polishes. When I go in, I am invested. So you have to hold the magnet there for, they say 30 seconds, but I usually hold it for at least a minute each time. So that's why it takes so long, because you have to hold it there for a minute for each nail, because you want the polish to dry enough that the magnetic pigments aren't just going to immediately disperse once you remove the magnet. So some people even do up to 2 minutes. The longer the better, probably, honestly. So you're going to be magnetizing any layers of the magnetic polish that you're putting on, and you are also going to be magnetizing your your top coat. You don't have to magnetize the base coat, but you have to magnetize your colored layers and the top coat. And you'll see when I do my top coat, you can see, because when you apply the top coat, it kind of disperses the magnetic particles again. So you have to, get them back in line and seal that all in. So yeah, that's why it takes so long. It is a bit of a test in patience. Also popping in to say that something else I find really helpful with magnetics is to do thicker coats, because that allows for the magnetic pigments to move around more easily and to form that nice crisp line. If you're putting really thin coats, it's going to be harder for it to magnetize, get that nice effect. I like to do thicker coats of polish in general. I think that it just makes everything look kind of smoother. I like to do a thick base coat, thick top coat, thick colors usually, but yeah, I find it especially beneficial for magnetics. I'm now going to let that coat dry for a while and then go in for my second coat once the polish feels dry to the touch, and I'm just going to repeat the same thing, but with the second layer I try to be a little bit more precise. Like I said, I'm going to be holding the magnet above rather than underneath for all of these ones, just because I want that really sharp line. Now, a tip that is important for any type of nail painting, not specific to magnetics, but just in general, something that I do every single time when I paint my nails is cap the edge. So you want to paint the whole nail, but then also take the polish and cap off the edge of your nail, like the free edge. You want to continue the polish so that it kind of wraps around, and that is going to prevent any premature peeling and chipping. I feel like that is a tip that is very important in the longevity of your manicure. So definitely do that every time you apply nail polish. And I do that with all layers. I do that with my base coat, the color, and my top coat. I cap the tip for all of them. So I'm just finishing up with the second layer here. I didn't feel like either of these shades needed a third coat. I was super happy with just the 2 coats, but of course that's going to depend on whatever polish you're using. So this is what they look like. I still have to do the top coat, of course, but I was loving this. I also did this the week before Christmas and it felt very festive. But yeah, super, super happy with these. So now I'm going in with the Speed Demon top coat from Mooncat. I love this top coat. I also want to show you, I do have the Hollow Taco one as well. I use that one sometimes. I kind of just use either or, but Mooncat is the one that I've been using for the longest. I've been using it for years now, and it does dry very fast and it gives a super, super glossy finish to the nails. I really love it. So yeah, as you're gonna see here, I have to go in with the magnet again, even though we are just doing a top coat. So yeah, same thing, hold the magnet there for around a minute. And I think that this is where some people might go wrong by not magnetizing the top coat, but you really need to, because it will disperse the magnetic pigments. You'll be able to see here in a second. I think I show on this pointer nail here. You can see it's like all blurry now. We don't have that sharp line anymore. So I need to go in with the magnet again to remagnetize it. And once I do that, it is nice and crisp again. So this is the last step for the polish for the whole nail routine. Basically, after this, I just wait until it's completely dry, and then I go in with my cuticle oil to rehydrate. And that's it. This lasts me for around a week before I need to change it again, and I'm super happy with that. I think it looks amazing, honestly. I still can't believe that I can do my nails like this myself. And it really is something that I look forward to doing every single week. I think that it is so fun. There's so many different creative things that you can do. I love trying different polishes. Yeah, it's just brought a lot of joy and just an element of play and fun to my self-care routine. Okay, I am back to conclude this video. I filmed it like a month ago and then just left it hanging. I didn't film an outro or anything. I don't know what happened there, but I'm back. I obviously don't have the same nails on that I did during this video that I filmed during this video. I've gone through several nail colors since then because I'm on this binge of trying out a whole bunch of new colors. But yeah, following the process and the steps that I showed in this video, my nails will stay on for around a week before I start getting chips, which I think is pretty good, honestly. By the time I come up to a week, I'm really wanting to change my nail color anyways. So yeah, I feel like the tips that I mentioned really go a long way, like capping the edges and wearing dish gloves, that kind of stuff, cuticle oil. So I hope that this was helpful to you. If not, I hope it was at least relaxing or enjoyable to watch. Let me know if you have any questions, leave a comment, and I will do my best to get back to you. I will link everything that I used in the description box, and yeah, I think that that is it. So sorry it took me so long to finish filming this and get it posted, but yeah, thank you. Okay, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.